Hi everybody, I'm back with a video on Sailor Moon and we'll continue my review of the manga. I have volumes 6 and 7 here that I read a while back, so this review might be really fast. That's because I don't remember a lot of the details of what happened. Before I do that, I figured this video will probably be up before the Sailor Moon collection video part 2. So where have I been? With the whole quarantine situation, it's been a lot of stress on me, and I just didn't feel like making videos, to be honest. And on top of that, I was dealing with work. I was going in for a couple days, and that lasted for a couple weeks, and then it just stopped all of a sudden. And then during the summer, I got a summer job, and I was still going to school at the same time and trying to deal with having to do field experience, which is what they require for education majors, masters, graduate students. I don't even know what I'm saying. And that was really difficult to try and figure out what to do, because I had to use one of my friends who's a teacher, and I had, and we just kind of corresponded through email, because there was no way to observe classrooms because they're not physically meeting. They wanted me to assess a student, which I couldn't do because I don't have access to student information like that. I don't know why they thought I would, because I'm not actually a teacher. And I was like, and then they were like, oh, well, ask your friends, or assess your children. I'm like, I don't have kids, and my friends don't have, a lot of them don't have kids, or they have kids who are tiny little babies. So that wouldn't have worked. And also, how many of them would be like, oh yeah, come and assess my child? Probably not. They probably wouldn't go down for that. But yeah, anyways, that's one of the things I've been doing. I also been kind of doing a lot of those virtual cons that I've been doing, the virtual Comic Cons through the Wizard World and Galaxy Con. I know Creation just did one with the cast Once Upon a Time, so I've been doing some of those, and actually getting to talk to cast from certain shows like Doctor Who and Once Upon a Time, which have been really fun. I'll post those videos at some point on this channel. I don't know if I'm just waiting to do it. And then I've gotten a lot of cameos too recently. Not recently, over time. But anyways, that's what's been going on. I just haven't really felt like making videos right now. But I decided I need to finish this review of the manga. I need to finish reading it. I need to put it back where it goes, because I have it kind of piled up and over here on my desk. It's looking at me like, finish reading me, finish. So, anyways, I have, like I said, volumes 6 and 7. So, for those of you that probably haven't, maybe don't know, the version that I've been using for all my reviews is the Kodansha version, which is their first one, because they have another one that came out. They have the Eternal Editions, which are the really big ones. But this is the second version of the manga in English. That's the one I've been using because I have the complete set. Why do I have the complete set? Because it was easy to buy, and the older English version, I only had certain volumes, and I never completed the set even when I was growing up. I only had certain volumes, so it is what it is. And whatever I have left are some of the ones that I left over from childhood, and then I've been slowly picking up a couple copies just for the collection purposes. But yeah, but when they re-released it, I picked up the full set of this because I was like, I'm not gonna miss out on this. Not this time. So, but anyways, let's go ahead and talk about volume 6. Here on the cover you have Chibiusa in her fuku as Chibi Moon. Really cute little picture of her. And on the back you have like a chibi-fied version of her. In this version you have a couple color pages. You have the same image from the front in here. A little lighter pink though, I've noticed. The pink is kind of toned down. And then this really nice artwork of all the Guardians together, minus Tuxedo Mask. There's no Tuxedo Mask there. Yeah, the inners here with Chibi Moon. You got the outers here with Super Sailor Moon. I believe they are holding all their talismans, it looks like. Because I can see her sword. Yeah, and you can't really tell where. Here's the mirror right here. So that's a really nice image that they chose to use for the color page. And then what's the next one? That's it. So this is the start of the Infinity arc, which is one of my favorite arcs in the anime. In the original anime series with the manga, I actually really like all the manga, but in the original anime, that's my favorite arc, is the Super season. Oops, wait, wrong one. Super season S, which is Supers is the next arc, which is season 4. My bad. So I really like this arc. It introduces the characters of Uranus and Neptune, as well as Saturn, which I kind of like totally spoiled it with this picture right here, but and our new bad guy is Dr. Tomo, and the witches, and they've come from like this other dimension, and they're trying to pretty much colonize the earth. If you think about it, that's kind of what they're doing, because they're trying to take human bodies and you put the daimon in them, and I think he called it vestalization was the word. So they're trying to pretty much make the human body, what's the word I'm thinking of? They're trying to make the human body compatible with the alien species that they are. And it sounds like only Kaori Knight and Dr. Tomo are qualified. Maybe the witches, but I think the witches as well. But what I love about this arc is I really love how very dangerous it was. High staked. The world was going to be destroyed by this bad guy, and they literally had to call Sailor Saturn, which I believe in this volume, number 7, is where you find out about Sailor Saturn. So these ones both they're fighting before I get to Sailor Saturn. You have the witches. So each chapter deals with one of those witches. Where is my index? Oh, there is another image here. Oh, bad. Guys, I missed one. Sorry. Before, here's a really nice picture of the inners with Pluto, Tuxedo Mask, and that's Chibiusa with the cats. And then right there. It's a nice one too. Because obviously at this point in time we only know of Sailor Pluto as another Sailor Senshi. We don't know about Uranus and Neptune and Saturn just yet. Okay, it doesn't say like the villains. The chapters are Premonition, Ripples, 2 New Soldiers, Sailor Uranus Haruka Tenno, and Sailor Neptune Michiru Kaio. Okay, anyway, but sorry, the first one they fought like I said, it's been a while since I've read this one. So this review might be a little long. I apologize. I apologize for that. I don't want to make it long. Now they fight like one of the daimons first. My bad. And you can see them fighting it. So which witch do they fight first? Which witch is which witch? Which witches? I like how mysterious Neptune and Uranus are. Like, you don't know whether, even though they're Stellar Scouts, whether they're actually good or bad. I like that play. But in reality, they are good. Because they have to act this way because that's their mission. They can't be a part of the team. And I really like that. I think that's really interesting about their characters. Along with Pluto, who is not in this volume just yet. I think she comes in number 7. But I like that. I love how Tuxedo Mask, like here, he's having these he's having dreams. I'm just gonna do that. So he's having these dreams, right? He can tell that destruction is coming. He's connected to the earth, and obviously because the earth is suffering due to these guys, to Dr. Tomo and his gang. I'm gonna call him that. I don't even know what their official title was. Like, I totally spaced on that. But, you know, he can sense it because he actually has powers in this version of Sailor Moon. But let me see who the first person they fight. I think it's the one chick. What's her name? Yep. Ujiel. I don't even know. So it's this one. Before I move on, I want to. So she's the first one they fight, and then each witch is the next. Like, each chapter they fight like another witch. After a couple of chapters of them just fighting like straight up daimons, then they fight the witches, and then it's like they start with her, and she kind of is the one that is parallel to like Mars in a way, because she's got like fire powers from what I remember. She's very kind of similar. And then there was one that's kind of like Ami, and then one that was like Mako, and one that's kind of like Minako. So like each of the inners had like a witch that was parallel to them, which is kind of the same that she did during the Black Moon arc with the 4 Spectre sisters, other than not having one for, oh no, there was one for Venus, because Jupiter, wait, Khan took out Mars. Ami was like there or something like, yeah, no, I got it right. There's more than 5, never mind. So there's more witches than the 4 Spectre sisters. There's 5 of them. And then there's 5 of them, and I think the last couple are taken out by the whole group, because they're like the strongest ones or something like that. But before, I had to save this page because we're introduced to a new couple in the manga, that is Haruka and Michiru. So obviously there's something a little different about them, right? They are an LGBT couple. Fun fact, this is actually probably the first LGBT couple that I remember seeing in pop culture. I don't remember seeing anything in the movie or TV show before that. So like the anime and the manga are the first ones I saw. These guys. And and they have this really nice scene right here between them. But I like how she treated their relationship. She treated it the same as she does Usagi and Mamoru. And no one, I don't think anyone said anything negative about them, from what I can tell. Like the only thing you have is Usagi questioning Haruka, because she thinks, well, wait a minute, are you a guardian? That's like the big thing. Like, no one thinks it's strange that they're together. Of course, you had the infamous kiss with Uranus and Usagi. That doesn't mean that they don't love their respected partners. It's just both Haruka and Michiru love Usagi too. Like, that was the distinction from the anime version. Like, in this version, like, yeah, they don't fight with the girls because they have their own separate mission that they know is important, but they still love their princess, and they want to fight with her. They want to protect her. They want to be by her side, like the inner guardians, but they have a duty that's bigger than that, because they have to protect the galaxy from being invaded through the outer system. Hence why they have their own little, like, palace that is over in the outer, and they're on their planets, where they can observe what is happening. And you also have with Haruka, you have, you know, the play on her being, you know, dressing like the man. I don't remember what Michiru said. It was, well, she's both. Was the explanation, like, she has the strength of I apologize for this, guys. I didn't mark any pages. I forgot to do that. At the end of it, you're introduced to, I think it's in the next volume though, Sailor Pluto's human form, Setsuna. And then you're also introduced to another item, which is the legendary Holy Grail. I feel like they changed that in the dub, because the whole, like, you can't have it be the same as a certain other Holy Grail, right? Okay, well, that was volume 6. So good. I love volume 6 and 7, and I think 8 is the finishing of the arc and the start of the next one. Sue. Hello. I forgot to mention Chibiusa's friendship with Hotaru. I love her friendship with Hotaru. I love that she doesn't care that Hotaru is sick all the time. She doesn't care that Hotaru is the weird girl that everyone else doesn't seem to get along with. She just sees her friend. She just sees her for who she is, and she wants to be friends with her. She wants to be there for Hotaru, and I love that about the friendship. And I love that, you know, we're giving Chibiusa a friend her age, or closer to her age. So, I like that. Alright, number 7 has Uranus. We have the same image on the first color page. We have a picture of the girls in some swimsuits, which is interesting. I'm not sure why she chose to use that image. in there. Doesn't matter. We have some other images. We have this one. It's just kind of like the top of them. You got the 3 outer senshi right here. Nice picture of them. And we're continuing with, so the next one is Sailor Pluto, Setsuna Mio, 3 Guardians, Transformation, Super Sailor Moon, Infinite Labyrinth 1, and then the next one is 2. So Pluto obviously wakens up. She joins the gang, and then you have them teaming up together. And you have them explaining what it is that they did and what it is their talismans are for and everything. And I like how they're willing to apologize for whatever it is that they've done to be rude to them and whatever offenses that have happened. So I'm going to read this page because I think it's important. So we have Pluto going, "My princess, we are prepared to atone for our countless offenses in whatever manner you deem appropriate. However, please understand that it was all to protect you and this planet. Please forgive us. We have since ancient times protected Silver Millennium from afar, as guardians who battled invaders from the distant reaches of space." That's why they're different. Like, they're still protecting their princess, right? They still love their princess, but their goal is a little different than the 4 inner senshi. "Then you, princess, and Silver Millennium were both reborn into this world, and we too, like yourselves, were promised rebirth as well, and came to awaken on this new planet. However, it seems as if we were too late. By the time we awakened completely and sensed the danger, it already invaded." Deathbusters, that's their name. Thank you, Neptune, for telling me that line. So they have their device. Their talismans. And that helps them defend invaders. And here it is. So if you have it, what page is this? It doesn't say. So it's in this page right here. Neptune is explaining about Uranus. Uranus is both male and female. She's a guardian who possesses the strengths of both genders. So that is an interesting quality for the character. That's something that no one, I don't know if anyone has done that before, but it's something, that was really unique for the character of Uranus, because like you had, I know a lot of people talk about Mako, who was a tomboy, but she does, it's not the same, because you have Uranus dressing like a man. You have Uranus, I believe she was posing as a man for a little bit in the school. Like, I don't think anybody knew she was a girl in the school. You know, so it's different with Uranus. Like, I think she actually, you can recognize her as both genders, is what I'm getting from this. So that's an interesting quality to Uranus. Even though she's like, from my understanding, she's biologically woman, because that's the qualifications for being a Sailor Senshi. You gotta be a woman. But like, we've come to understand that gender is more than just that. And so Uranus is both. She identifies as both male and female, is what I'm getting from this. I believe that, or no, she's I've heard the term androgynous be described for Uranus as well. So she's a rare character in this universe. I know some people talk about the Starlights, how they ended up kind of being the same later on. I'll discuss that later. So, what I found interesting was they knew Hotaru was Saturn reborn. They knew that he was experimenting on her and turning her into a cyborg and all that. That's different from the anime, by the way. The anime never made Hotaru a cyborg, which is really cool. Like, or poor Hotaru, but that's really cool because, like, that's different. It's unique. Like, no one, like, it also makes Dr. Tomo pretty evil, like, if you think about it. Like, dang, look at what he did to his daughter. Like, whereas in the anime, they tried to make him, like, this really loving, caring person, but he wasn't. So, I really like how the dynamic is. And also, it makes sense that he has to be evil because in the next volume, we're going to find out why. And then, like I said, they knew she was Sailor Saturn, and they explain why you don't want to mess with Sailor Saturn. The Guardian of Silence, Sailor Saturn, who protects Saturn, planet of ruin, is returning to life. Oh, that's not the right one. That's the wrong one. Here we are. So, we're here. I'm going to read to you this moment that explains why Sailor Saturn is awesome and is amazing. I must say, for as far back as we can remember, there have only been one other time that these 3 talismans have stirred in such a manner. Do you remember? It was back when the Silver Millennium fell long ago. There's a if. Back then, the 3 of us were forbidden to leave the territories that we guarded. We could only watch from afar. From afar, the final scream of our far-off mother world. No, don't talk about that. Feeling my chest is about to burst. And in that moment, the talismans we held, the greatest weapons of our outer planet, started to resonate in a way we had never seen. We came together, and our beautifully shining talismans happened to summon the last of the guardians who must never be awakened from the taboo planet. The Guardian of Silence, Sailor Saturn, protector of Saturn, planet of ruin. And that is how we knew the end had finally come. We watched Sailor Saturn take up her silence glaive and slowly swing it downwards as the Silver Millennium quietly fell into ruin, our strength drained out of us. Sailor Saturn. Sailor Saturn is the conductor of death. It only appears at the moment of destruction and returns all to nothingness. When the 3 talismans come together, they act as a keys that summon Sailor Saturn. That is their true function. We are the protectors of those keys. And when we are gathered and the 3 talismans come together, that indicates Sailor Saturn's awakening. And Saturn only awakens at the moment of the world's demise, when this world will fall into ruin. That is why Sailor Saturn is pretty awesome, guys. Like, dude, she can totally, like, destroy planets. And, like, people are afraid of her. Like, just, you say Sailor Saturn, like, oh, no, not Sailor Saturn. Like, she's the guardian you don't want around. Because of that. Because you know, oh, it's too late. Can't do anything about anything. Can't save it. gotta start all over again. Because they do mention she's the guardian of destruction, but she's also the guardian of rebirth, because when she destroys everything, she sets it up for rebirth, which is what happened with the Silver Millennium, if you think about it. Yes, she went, destroyed everything, causing a rebirth, because she helped that. She helped Queen Serenity start the rebirth. So that's why she's totally awesome. And it also really shows the importance of these 4 outer guardians. Like, you have Pluto, who protects time. You have Saturn, who's called when you desperately need her to be called at the very last minute, and you don't want her to be called, right? Then you have the 3, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, that come together to protect the galaxy from invasions in the outer planet. And what's sad is all 4 of them, they lived very lonely lives, whereas with the Inner Senshi, they got to live with the princess. They got to have very happy lives in a way, because they were surrounded by her and created friendships, which the outer Senshis couldn't. I think that makes them really interesting as characters. And one of the reasons why they're my favorites, because I feel like they're a little more interesting than the inners to me. Like, their powers, I think the powers are just a little bit more powerful than the inner ones. I also really like how they can do a little bit more, if you think about it. Like, they have the talismans. Like, Pluto can control and manipulate time. Saturn can destroy a planet. Like, they can do all these things that the Inner Senshi can't, because the Inner Senshi's purpose is, yes, to mainly protect the princess and the Silver Millennium. And they don't need the amount of strength that sounds like the outers do. And then this particular volume ends with the start of the final battle. You have Hataru becoming Mistress 9, and that's the end of it. Like, the end. It is the end. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. The end. And you know what's gonna happen then. Sailor Saturn's gonna come, right? Right. So, I love the manga so much, guys. And love the manga. I know this review is kind of all over the place, just because I kind of had to really flip through the book a lot, or the books a lot, because I read them a while back. But I'm gonna go ahead, stop the video, end it here. If you haven't read the Sailor Moon manga, please do. It's so good. If you've only watched the anime, please read the manga. It's really good, guys. Like, if you love Sailor Moon, you're gonna love it. Yeah. So the next video will be 8 and 9 volumes, and then that's it. There's actually 12 in the set, but that's the next video for now. But okay, bye guys.